Building affordability. Raleigh takes a new approach to tackling its housing crisis. How one neighborhood is at the center of a citywide push for affordable homes.
At least 5 universities nationwide have been hit by false active shooter calls. What local universities have put in place to prepare for similar threats.
Then, homes on the edge. Dozens of houses teeter on the brink of collapse along North Carolina's coast thanks to hurricanes. And fixing it comes with a massive price tag.
A taste of fall. We've got one more day before cooler temperatures move in. How to plan the rest of your week.
Thanks for joining us at 7 o'clock. I'm Ashley. He's Dan. The median home sale price in Wake County is now just under $500,000. That's what happens in a growing community like ours. Simple supply and demand.
But as the demand keeps going up, the supply lags behind. More families are feeling the financial stress of this. Housing becomes unaffordable. And Raleigh is trying to fix this.
Today, the city broke ground on a new affordable housing development. WRAL's Flynn Snyder reports on how we got here and who qualifies.
2, 3.
The groundbreaking of 18 new affordable homes in Raleigh's Idlewild neighborhood was as much of a business success as it was a personal one for NC Central head basketball coach Lavelle Moten.
The thing I wanted to always do was just make it out of here and come back and give back and provide opportunities because I know they're in challenging situations.
Moten grew up here, and his development company is part of the team bringing this project to reality. It's the first new construction effort in Wake County that the Raleigh Area Land Trust is developing.
So we're about permanent affordability, not just for the first buyer, but subsequently over generations.
The trust acquires land to build homes and then makes those units for sale at an affordable price. It's a model Raleigh leaders believe could be used to spur similar developments as the city aims to add 1,300 more affordable units by 2030.
What more is there to do to get more affordable inventory in Raleigh?
This is an innovative approach. We're going to need more money. I know there's public dollars going into this, but you also have philanthropic dollars.
The project not only aims to boost affordable housing numbers in the area, but also protect this neighborhood's legacy and keep residents from being displaced.
Idlewild was the first place in Raleigh where formerly enslaved people could own land. For Moten, the project is a way to honor that history while helping residents achieve homeownership amid what leaders call an urgent housing affordability crisis. Developers say families making 50 to 80% of the area's average media income can buy here for $145,000.
It's certainly just a tip of the iceberg, and no way it's just a savior of the Raleigh community. And instead of them having to be displaced and go to Knightdale or Wake Forest or surrounding areas, they can remain in the neighborhood that they grew up in as well.
The cottages are set to be built by the end of next year. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, Raleigh.
And our thanks to Flynn. Let's break this down a bit more. These new homes will be reserved for people making between 30 to 80% AMI, or area median income.
So what does that mean exactly? Let's talk about it in dollars and cents. So according to HUD in Raleigh, for a family of 4, 30% equals an income of about $39,800 a year. 80% of the income is about $104,200 per year for that family of 4 to be in that category. So just so we heard that all correctly, in Raleigh today, if you have a family of 4 and you make 6 figures, you could still qualify for affordable housing. That is how crazy the market has gotten in the Triangle.
Yeah, and while 18 homes from this new project will help, it's a drop in the bucket. Fortunately, the county has committed lots of drops, announcing an $18 million plan in April to build 644 affordable homes for that 30 to 80% income range. And you heard Flynn report that the county plans to have 1,300 homes by the year 2030.
That all sounds great. It really sounds good until you see this report from the state in 2023 saying that Wake County has an affordable housing deficit of 65,860 units. And statewide, right now, there are currently 41,000 households on a wait list for affordable housing. 41,000.
But that statistic can be misleading because it only accounts for low-income families. The group of people who can't afford a home stretches well into the middle class, right? The missing middle, as it's called, is that income group from 80 to 120% of that AMI. So let's stick with that family of four. That's between $104,000 and $159,000 per year. These are our teachers, right? Our police officers, EMTs, firefighters, nurses, young professionals. Their families where both parents work and each make what are still considered good salaries.
But this group doesn't qualify for affordable housing programs, but they still can't afford to buy a house. Prices simply went up too fast. 10 years ago, in 2015, the median sale price for a home in Wake County was $221,000 a year. In January of this year, it was $470,000. And according to Realtor.com, that is where it remains right now, despite those interest rates going up. Does a $470,000 home seem affordable to you?
Right. The fact is, the affordable housing bucket, it keeps getting bigger. The drops are still trickling in. Brian?
Here in the WRAL Live Center, we are watching the latest from SpaceX as they get prepared to launch their Starship and Heavy booster rocket. They planned to do this yesterday, but they had to postpone it because of some ground issues. A look at their website right now has the countdown clock there. They hope to launch this in about an hour. We just learned that they got the all clear to start loading the fuel into that rocket. They have not had a clean launch of the Starship since November of 2024. So we'll be watching that carefully this evening. We'll have updates tonight on WRAL News at 10 and 11.
Very good, Brian. At least 5 universities have had false active shooter calls within the past 2 weeks. Some of them were intentional hoaxes. One happened today at the University of Arkansas. The threat wasn't real, but the panic was. WRAL's Carly Haynes is live on UNC campus tonight. Carly, it was nearly 2 years ago an active shooter shot a faculty member there. The university has made some changes since then.
Yes, and of course, when you hear about all of these events, it's on the minds of people here on UNC's campus. I mean, just yesterday, UNC Hospital had to lift a lockdown after a false security threat was reported there. And universities have to respond to these threats as if they are real, so UNC did prepare for these threats before the school year even started. Now, when we asked them specifically what they have changed since 2 years ago, they said they updated its messaging system from the Alert Carolina emergency notification system to make the words there more clear. Now, the university also launched emergency preparedness training for staff in April, which guides university faculty on how to prepare for and respond to a range of different crises. And before the university ever even has to respond, they do have ways to flag potential threats as well. It has implemented a new behavioral threat assessment unit to identify and manage red flags in behaviors. A hoax threat that draws in law enforcement to respond is specifically called swatting. And the Educators Schools Safety Network said that swatting incidents have increased since the 2018 school year.
So, Carly, broadening out, we've seen several universities face this. Is there anything in particular that's contributing to this increase of swatting?
There are some ideas. The National Association of Attorneys General says that the developments in artificial intelligence, where people can spoof voices when they make phone calls to sound like somebody who's in distress, or spoofing phone numbers that appear to be legitimate but actually aren't. And then, of course, there's the copycat effect, which is people emulating things that they might see on social media, for example.
You just think about all the resources that then go to those universities because of those fake calls and where they're being not spent elsewhere. Carly, thanks.
Some good news at the North Carolina coast. Governor Josh Stein dropping that state of emergency now that Aaron is gone. There's still some cleanup to do, of course, and repairs to be made. But one thing will be much more difficult to fix. And that's erosion, not because of climate change exactly, but because of money. Let's go in depth after the break. Kat?
And get ready, fall lovers. The cold front has passed. The humidity drop on the way tonight. I'll let you know when the temperature drop comes coming up.
Let's take a look ahead at some of the stories we're watching this week. On Wednesday, tariffs on India are set to double from 25% to 50%. We'll be watching the impact that could have on Wall Street. On Thursday, ACC football kicks off with two matchups in North Carolina: NC State versus ECU at 7, Duke versus Elon at 7:30. Also on Thursday, Raleigh will hold its State of Downtown meeting. Leaders will discuss the economic landscape, market trends, and other possible investments, including a new way to get from Dix Park to downtown. That event starts at 1 p.m. We'll be right back.
Hurricane Aaron is out of here. Blew past the North Carolina coast, shot past Maine, and out of our lives. You can't even see it on the radar anymore. Meteorologist Kat Campbell told us it got sucked into an upper level low, which sounds pretty rough. But you shouldn't feel bad for Aaron. I mean, look at what it left behind on the Outer Banks. There are whole air conditioning units among the debris on the beach. This is Highway 12 here as the storm came through, flooded and covered with sand. But here's Highway 12 now. DOT reopened it to traffic just a couple of hours ago. Ferry services back up and running too. So things are starting to get back to normal. But while the debris and the damage can be cleaned up and repaired like it has been so many times before, there are some things that are much harder to fix. I'm talking about erosion, beach erosion. You can't really fix it. You can only keep up. It's the reason those homes keep falling into the ocean in Rodanthe, 11 in the last 5 years. They didn't build the houses on top of the waves. The waves came a-knocking. They came up to the house because of erosion. 3 homes fell into the water last year, and wouldn't you know it, a few more homes were at risk of collapse during Hurricane Aaron. As far as we know it, they're still standing. They made it through the storm. This storm, as we know, there's going to be another storm and another one after that. And we'll probably get another viral video of a house crashing into the waves. It happens year after year. So why does it keep happening? And why does it keep happening there? Well, it's not only because of climate change. It's mainly because of money. You see, the solution for beach erosion is expensive. But towns do it. Towns up and down our coast re-nourish their beaches every couple of years because they have to. They spend millions of dollars to pump sand out of the ocean back onto shore. That's what those big pipes are for. Have you seen them out at the beach? Wrightsville Beach sees about 3 feet of beach erosion per year, and they have to keep up with that, or they'd all be like Rodanthe. They spent $14 million last year to re-nourish and fight that erosion. The trouble is, Rodanthe does erode a lot faster based on where it is, and about 15 feet of sand a year gets taken away, which means that renourishment for them would also cost a whole lot more, like $40 million. And that's not a one-time fee, right? The waves don't stop. They keep crashing. The beach will keep eroding, and that area would have to keep up by paying up. And that's a lot to ask a place like Rodanthe to do, where the population is less than 300 people. The tax base just isn't there. It's too small for a project that big, and essentially they've been abandoned in a lot of ways. They've asked for help. Dare County applied for a federal grant, but FEMA said no, they didn't give it to them because that tax base is too small. So what else can be done? What about moving the homes or just demolishing them before the waves can take them? That's possible. In fact, this year, 1 home was demolished and 1 home was moved. The National Park Service helps with this sometimes because they see it as an environmental hazard. They will buy the homes specifically to demolish them. In 2023, they bought 2 homes for more than $700,000 combined, using a special fund to protect natural areas. The Park Service tore down the homes before they could collapse and then pollute the beach. And I can't tell you enough how bad that pollution can be. Just listen to how one park ranger put it in a video posted by Dare County.
Those impacts are magnified tremendously. We can have debris on the beach that is so thick that in some areas it's difficult to walk. Much of that debris is ridden with nails, and therefore it poses a public safety issue. So it's really important for the owner of the house to themselves or with their contractor start cleaning up as soon as possible. We have found in many cases we've had to supplement that cleanup to try to mitigate the impact to the visitors, habitats, and resources of the park.
So what's another solution? Well, they could move the homes. Again, that can be done. But the process is often more expensive than the home is even worth. So you ask about insurance. Those people have insurance, right? Well, first, the private insurers, when it comes to moving the house, they say, no way. That's not what we do. We're not there to move a house. Second, they have the federal flood insurance. That's a thing, too. But they won't do that work either, even though they used to. The Upton-Jones Act passed in 1988. It provided this service, 40% of the policy to relocate the home, 110% to demolish it. It incentivized people to take care of this issue. But 6 years later, in 1994, that law was repealed. It was just too expensive. Meaning, for most people, the easiest path to get any money at all is to do the one thing insurance will pay for. And it's the worst case scenario, allowing the ocean to take the house and to spread that debris up and down the coast. Now, a pair of North Carolina congressmen are trying to change this. Republican Greg Murphy and Democrat Dawn Davis working across the aisle here. They sponsored the Prevent Environmental Hazards Act. It would let national flood insurance programs to give payouts to demolish or relocate homes before they are destroyed and cause all those problems. They proposed the bill last year. Today, we checked in with Representative Murphy to get an update to ask if there has been any progress here. And he sent us a statement that reads, in part, I continue to vigorously advocate for urgent action by the House Financial Services Committee, where my bill has been referred to. It is common sense reform that I will continue to fight for as long as I have the honor to serve our coastal communities. So that was a really long way of saying it hasn't gone anywhere. Not yet, anyway. Congress is back in session next week, so we'll see what happens. But a solution can't come soon enough. A report from the State Department of Environmental Quality found that 8,800 oceanfront properties in North Carolina, of all those, 750 are at risk from erosion. But that number could get bigger. The report goes on to say this situation is anticipated to worsen with increasing sea level rise and coastal storms. Like I said, the waves will keep crashing. The beach will continue to erode. Storms like Hurricane Erin, even if they never make landfall, will only make it worse. What else do you want to know about this? Send me an email, dan@WRAL.com. What questions do you have about beach erosion, the consequences of hurricanes at our coast, the outlook as these storms continue to intensify? And honestly, right here in the Triangle, what does it mean for all of us? Tell me what is on your mind, and we will go in depth.
Boy, oh boy, a lot to consider there. You feel for the folks that are in the coastal communities. Kat, after listening to what Dan was just saying, I have to wonder, are you keeping your eye on any new storms that are going to be coming close to our coast?
The way it looks now, no. The one area we were watching last week became a tropical storm. No threat to us. The other area we were watching is now down to a 0% chance of developing. So we'll get to that in a minute, but good news to report in the tropics today. And let's take a look outside. Just beautiful today. We've got some upper level clouds over the Natural Sciences Museum in downtown Raleigh. 82 degrees. The dew point 63. Not too bad. As we look ahead, though, those numbers are both going to fall, all thanks to a cold front that's passed and a big dip in the jet stream that's going to funnel in some of that cooler air from the Midwest as well as Canada all the way toward North Carolina. So behind our front, we are drying out, and you'll notice that first thing when you wake up tomorrow morning, it won't be as humid, and it only drops from there. So great news in the humidity forecast. Our northwest wind behind the front will aid in cooling, and the drier air is going to really minimize our rain and storm chances throughout the week. Muggy meter, dew points drop into the low 50s tomorrow. That is crisp feeling. It's going to feel great. Wednesday as well, quite low. Some spots could even dip into the upper 40s. By Thursday and Friday, we'll see the dew points go up a little bit, but it's still not going to be like, you know, really hot and humid August weather that we're used to, as it hasn't been most of the month. At the bus stop in the morning, beautiful weather tomorrow. We could be in the mid 50s in Roxborough, 57 in Durham, 61 in Raleigh and Rocky Mount, and 63 degrees in Fayetteville. School bus planner looks good. Even during the afternoon tomorrow, temperatures are going to be in the low 50s. It will be plenty warm tomorrow afternoon, especially in the sunshine. Once we get to after school practices, temperatures are in the upper 70s to lower 80s. So I want to stress, fall lovers, get out early. Wake up, have your pumpkin coffee first thing in the morning. Enjoy those early morning hours and the late evening hours because it is not going to be sweater weather during the afternoons. We're not there yet. High temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s, but it will be very comfortable outside. That's the bottom line there. Over the next 7 days, 83 the high tomorrow. As we get into Wednesday, we'll see more sunshine, just 80 degrees the high, 58 the low Wednesday night. And then after that, Labor Day weekend looks pretty good. High temperatures right around 80 degrees. Humidity is likely to stay pretty low all the way into early next week. We'll keep an eye on the tropics next week. There could be some new development in the main development region. So that's kind of the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that we'll need to watch longer term.
Very good, Kat. Thanks. Hey, it's back to school in the Triangle. A blast from the past here at 7 o'clock. Your one last thing after the break. One last thing before we go that we have to talk about. It's the first day of school for thousands of students across the Triangle. Yes, summer vacation is over.
I know. Families taking pictures of their students headed off to class is one of the best things in the world. We wanted to share some of the pictures with you, not of those kids, not of our kids, but as us as kids. Because why not humiliate ourselves? This is me. Great sweater. You can't really see. It shows a plane which appears to be headed down toward the ground, and I think it's a metaphor for the haircut.
Oh, no, the haircut's so cute.
I think my mom used the weed whacker to...
She was trying to cover your ears for some reason.
It's like the helmet.
Well,
look at you.
There I am in kindergarten. Yes, I know this is bizarre. They made us wear a blazer and tie, even as young as 5 years old.
That's why you're such a professional today.
An old soul.
Yeah.
And by the way, that is dust on the blazer, not like white specks. That's actual dust that didn't get removed from the photo before the picture was taken.
Yes, courtesy of your mom.
Yeah, thanks, Carolyn.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for being with us tonight.